Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. This week's Parsha is that of Korach. We have the incident in which Korach, one of the great leaders of Klal Yisrael, one of those who would be performing the great service of carrying the Ark of the Testimony, the Ark of the Covenant, when it would be transported, he was one of those from the tribe of Kahas, the tribe of Levi, the family of Kahas, who was selected to transport it. And he challenges Moshe Rabbeinu because he is envious of the fact that he is not the Kohen Gadol. Aaron was chosen as Kohen Gadol, and that he wasn't even appointed to be the leader of the family of the Leviim. We find later in the Parsha that Hashem says unto Aharon that the complaints against the selection of you, Aaron, and your descendants as being the Kahanim, Hashem says he is going to silence this once and for all. And he says, Hinei nasati lacha mishmeres trumaisai. I am presenting here for all to see and to know that I am giving you the following, what's called the matnais kahuna, the gifts to be given to the Kahanim. There were certain tithes to be given to a Kohen. The sacrificial meat was consumed by a Kohen. There were portions. There are various things, gifts that were given to the Kahanim. The Kahanim did not have an official portion in the land of Israel. Of course, they had a place to live, but they did not have fields and vineyards to work and things to support themselves, for they were to be dedicated to the service in the temple. In addition, if there were spoils of victory that were shared amongst Klal Yisrael, the Kahanim did not receive a share in that, but rather they were supported by what the Almighty presented to them. As it says, Meshulchan Gavaya Kazachu, from the heavenly table, they merited these gifts. And the verses continue, and it delineates the various gifts given by God unto the Kahanim. And then at the very end of that particular portion, God says to Aharon that these are the gifts that I have given you from amongst Klal Yisrael. Ani chelkecha v'nachaloscha. I am your portion. I am your inheritance. B'soich b'nei Yisrael, amongst the children of Israel. That's the concluding statement after this particular portion about the various gifts given to the Kahanim. What exactly does it mean? I am your portion. I Hashem, am your portion. What does that mean? So the commentaries state, as the Targum Onkelos says, that what does it mean? I am your portion. Matnon di Yehovah's lach. These gifts that I have given you, the tithes, the sacrificial meat, this that I have given you. So when it says I am your portion, it means that which I have given is your portion. But that's a little bit misleading. Why does it say I am your portion? It should say what I've given you is your portion. In addition, the tithes that were allocated to the Kahanim, where did they come from? It came from the Jewish farmers that when they gathered their produce, they would tithe, and there was a certain amount called truma that was dedicated as truma, and it was consecrated, and the children of Israel would then give it to the Kahanim. So what does it mean that I am your portion, that these gifts, such as the truma, the tithe, is what I'm giving you amongst the children of Israel? It's not amongst them, it's not within them, but rather it is from them. It would have been more correct to say that this is your portion, mitoch b'nei Israel, from amongst the children of Israel. What does it mean that it's amongst them? It's not amongst them, it's from them. When Hashem begins the introduction of these gifts, He says, Hine nosati locha. Hine means, behold, I am giving you the following. Why does it say behold? Behold seems to suggest something unique. Rashi tells us that behold here refers to joy, the simcha. God is saying, with great joy, I am giving you. Where do we see that the word hine means joy? So Rashi tells us that when God appeared to Moshe Rabbeinu at the burning bush, and he tells Moshe to go speak to Paro and redeem the children of Israel, Moshe makes many arguments in which he feels that he's not worthy. And finally, Moshe says, Shlach no biyad tishlach. Hashem, please send with the hand that you have sent before. Meaning, Hashem, I don't feel that I'm worthy of this. Send with my older brother Aharon. Because I am certain that if Aharon would hear that I have been sent, that he would feel very humiliated. He would be very, very upset, and he would not welcome this. Therefore, I am saying, please send Aharon. And Hashem says, you're making a mistake. Hine, behold, hu yotzei likrosecha. He, Aaron, is going to greet you. V'ra'acha, he will see you. V'samach b'libay. He will be overjoyed in his heart when he sees you and learns of your mission to redeem Klal Yisrael. Moshe, you think Aaron is going to be upset and envious? He will be overjoyed. So we see that it says, Hine, behold, Aaron will be overjoyed. We see that the word behold refers to being joyful. Here too, Rashi says, when God is presenting to Aaron these gifts, it's being done with great joy. What exactly is being conveyed to us with this idea that Rashi tells us, just as Aaron was overjoyed to see Moshe, I'm overjoyed to present to you, Aaron, these gifts. Commentaries explain that whereas Moshe thought that Aaron might have an element of envy in his heart, that Moshe is appointed as the Redeemer, Hashem is saying, Moshe, you're underestimating the greatness of character of your brother Aharon. For Aaron's heart has no elements of envy at all. Aaron's heart is totally filled with a love of Klal Yisrael and a devotion and dedication to his Creator. And if Aaron hears that Klal Yisrael will be redeemed, it matters not if it's through him, if it's through you or whoever. Aaron's heart will be filled only with joy. And it's because of the great purity and sanctity of Aaron's heart that he was meritorious of having the choshen, the breastplate, which contained the very name of God. The ineffable name of God was placed within that breastplate, and it was resting on his chest, on his heart. Only a heart of such purity could be the residence for this name of God. This is what Hashem was saying. And therefore, Aharon, with the same joy, reflecting the purity of your heart, the sanctity of your heart, I am bestowing upon you and your descendants these gifts, the matnes kahuna, the gifts that will enable you to focus on your mission, not to be disturbed by the responsibilities of working in the fields and whatever you would have to do. This will support you and sustain you so that you can focus in your mission of being the agent of Klal Yisrael, connecting them to their Creator. The Chassam Sofer says, person who is dedicated and devoted unto God, one who lives constantly, putting aside their own thoughts and goals and aspiration, but live exclusively to fulfill the will of their creator, it is almost impossible that such a person should be a Ma'urav ben Abrias, to be one who is mixed and involved with the community. When you're involved with the community and interpersonal relationships and getting involved in other people's affairs and their lives, it's very hard to remain one who is totally focused on just the will of Hashem. We get involved in all types of emotions and all types of various positions, and it's got to touch ourselves. We have to invest our heart, or else people will not feel the safety and they won't feel welcome to share with us. For a person, we think of one who is so totally dedicated to God, one who is lahavdil in a monastery, one who sits in yeshiva, they sit in their tent day and night. But to be able to go out into the world, to be amongst people, into the Gentile world, the Jewish world, and to function with them with peace and harmony and love and respect, and to at the same time be totally and thoroughly dedicated unto God, where do you see this? It seems almost diametrically opposed. And yet, that was Aaron. When Aaron died, it says, Vayivku kol, all of Israel. Everyone cried for Aaron. The men, the women, the children. Why did they all cry for Aaron? Because Aaron had a relationship, a personal relationship with each and every one of them. If there was a disagreement in business amongst partners, Aaron made shalom. If there was a spat between a husband and wife, Aaron made shalom. Aaron was involved, he was there. And yet, Aaron's heart was so pure and so holy, he felt no envy for his brother. He focused only on fulfilling the will of Hashem and redemption for Klal Yisrael, that his heart was pure enough to be the residence of the name of God in the Choshen. This, the Chasam Sofer explains, is what Hashem is saying to Aaron. I have given you these gifts, you've earned them with the purity of your heart, and with great joy I bestow them upon you to continue your mission. And I want you to know, Ani, I am your portion. I am your inheritance. Not just the gifts that I'm giving you, but I. What does that mean? Aaron, you have ascended to such a level that we call Devekis. You've been able to bond with your creator. Your mind, your soul, your heart is so pure. This is your only modus operandi, to see that you will fulfill the will of your creator. Ani chelkacha. You have bonded with me. I am your portion. We are one. And you have been able to do this b'soch b'nei Yisrael while you are amongst the children of Israel. You didn't lock yourself in any monastery. You didn't separate yourself. You didn't isolate yourself. You are in the midst. You are amongst the children of Israel. Aaron, you are living proof that it is possible for a human being to function within community and to be devout in their service unto God. In truth, Aaron is the total opposite of Korach. Korach was a great man, but his flaw was envy. He felt envy. The envy corrupted his heart, and it resulted in his destruction. Aaron, there was no envy, because Aaron was a man who was amongst the people, for the people, dedicated exclusively in his service to God. Korach was corrupted by envy. Aaron had no envy. Well, maybe this is Aaron. Maybe Aaron was unique after all. That's why he was selected to be the Kohen Gadol, and his descendants would be the Kahana. But is it possible for us? Is this actually a goal that we can achieve? To be involved in communal activities, to be there for each other, to build our community, to be able to see that we have Jewish education, we have Torah for adults, that we're able to have a synagogue where we can spiritually immerse ourselves and feel the safety of being protected by God's outstretched arm. Can we be a person who is a communal B'Soich B'nai Yisrael and at the same time be devout and dedicated? Can we go to work? Can we open an office? Can we have a practice? Can we involved with the Gentile community and still remain dedicated and devout to Hashem? Or is this something which is unique to Aaron? My friends, the answer is, look at yourselves. If you're listening to this, then you know this is a goal that we're all striving for, and it's attainable. You have all attained this to some degree, not like Aaron. I'm not going to say that we've attained it like Aaron, but we're in the process. It's a struggle, it's a journey, but this is where we are headed. This is what we're doing. We function in a community. The Jewish community, the Torah community, the American community, our city, our state, our country, our people, our Torah, our God. And we can remain devoted and dedicated and devout in our service, guided by the principles of Torah, in which our character is refined, envy can be removed, and we can feel a joy in our hearts for the success of every one of our brothers and sisters, just as Aaron felt such happiness for Moshe. This is what we're striving to achieve, and we're doing it. Let's continue, and let's have Hashem's blessings that we may be worthy of seeing envy removed from the heart of all humanity with revelation of Mashiach. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay Jewish. Have a good Shabbos.